She was there, so I was sitting next to her.
Did you see?
I was telling
The
her
night on
about
Broadway?
That's it. Six times.
same reflection from right by her
Isn't that fun? It's just fun to see her up there.
Great.
Stories project.
Yeah.
Pictures, people. So she said, hi. She said, I have a grant.
Hey, how you doing?
Good to see you.
This is a total of $10,000. And she said, that's it.
Go anytime, you have a quorum.
Until next September, but if we go ahead with these wraps and with the optics, but then for every utility box by the elementary school, we could have elementary. Or if we could get, maybe we could get all the elementary schools to participate in the Orem Stories project if they do that. The winners would be on the wrap. That's really cool. And then there's money and, you know. but
All
she
right,
tells
let's
you
go ahead and get started.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting.
Well, we don't even have minutes to review.
No, because we're just going to the recordings, so
Okay.
there's no way to tinker with the recordings, so what you say is what's on the minutes.
Excellent. Yeah, no untoward language or anything like that. The 2020 meeting schedule is
Yeah,
first
that's good.
So this is just proposed. If there are conflicts, you can adjust it. If you find a conflict with everyone, we could like choose a different month to start and then go every other month, whatever you want to do. We just need to publish it in the annual city calendar of events, and then if we have to cancel or adjust individual meetings, we can, but they try to publish a schedule at the beginning of the year for the whole city.
Are we meeting in December?
No. I mean, technically, we're not scheduled to, but
Usually we don't, just because holidays makes it hard for everyone.
I think we should start in February next year and go every other. That's just for me. That's only, I'm just making a proposal.
Start in February instead of January. Sure.
Except it'd be better the way it is, because we'd meet in May before the June.
That's
I
true.
think we need to meet the months that we have.
This is good.
Do we always do the city council presentation in October?
that's when it's on the council's schedule.
So then September would be great
That's
for
a good
before that
time.
too, right?
Yeah. This is a better schedule. It's just me.
Okay, is everyone pretty much in favor of the schedule for next year?
Yeah.
All right, we can go to notes of recognition. Does anybody have anything in that? Anybody that we should recognize or thank for anything that's
If this is
happened?
our last meeting of the year, do we want to thank our city council liaison?
Sure.
Does that change by the calendar year?
The mayor changes them. He makes the assignments every year, so we just don't know if Debbie could be reassigned or not yet. It's kind of at the mayor's discretion.
Gonna be on the city council?
Yeah, have they released the final
I saw
time?
it was 13 votes. When did they can't do it?
They do the canvas on Tuesday.
But does that appointment start in January if there is a change?
Mm-hmm.
So she's been with us the whole year.
Right.
So either way, I think it might be nice to thank her for being
Yeah.
with us for a year.
Adam, do you want to write a note and we'll sign it?
I'm not a man of many words, I'll just put love your guts, but.
That sounds good.
It's a very personal message.
Linda?
No, I'm just teasing you.
I'm just kidding.
She's been the most.
She can't come today.
Siblings.
Well, let's go with that. Let's go to the utility box art update. John, you want to take it away?
Well, we're very, very close. I should have printed more, but anyway, Nathan's here, so from what you can see, if we want to get one done right away, because of legal art issues, this is the quickest way to go, and Nathan provided this for us. And we're working with Taylor Forbush over in the traffic signaling area in Orem. They have a vinyl wrap printer, and all things considered, especially for these signal wraps, with the signal boxes, because they're stainless steel, going with the wraps is a better idea. And it's easier to produce rather than having someone sit out there and paint. Anyways, so they're willing to work with us on that. They're giving us a good price for the printing and materials to print, and Taylor's very willing to help us do this.
Will they wrap it then, Bill, apply?
So we're, at least the first time, he's going to help us do it. I'm going to go out with them, and we'll see what it involves. And then from there, we'll see. And I'm hoping that we can just, after the first time, just go get it printed from them, and then we'll be able to wrap it ourselves. But we haven't gone through the process yet, unless any of you are done vinyl wrap before, but
We have an expert, John.
Well, it was indicated to me that access to the box is always a concern. So I would expect there to be a Public Works employee accompanying whoever is wrapping, because while we know no one would intentionally do anything, there's always the potential. So, I mean, signal boxes are safety related issues. So that would just be my understanding from the conversation that was had, that there would be a Public Works employee involved, but
We don't want to break anything.
I just don't think we want the responsibility of, hey, somebody had an accident here at 4:05 and you guys left at 4, kind of thing.
well,
I think you probably also want the keys so you can wrap around the doors and things too, right, with access?
from the way Taylor described it, and maybe I understood wrong, is basically you just wrap it, and then you go in with the utility knife, and you cut where the door is, you cut all the vents. If there's a placard on the box that needs to be showing, you cut around and peel off. And so it sounds like you just put it on, treat it however you treat it, and then go in with the knife and do it.
What is the cost per box?
Well, not counting whatever fee there might be for their labor. It was around $270 something, if I remember right, for the printing and material. Now, that may or may not change depending on the size of the boxes. But we've been specifically talking about the box on 800 South and 400 East, so he's familiar with that size, and I think for this one we can count on that. And from the emails that we received from Charlene, it sounds like that qualifies for the grant that we have, because it's in the Arts District. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm still hoping, beyond hope, that we can do it today. Maybe. Because this is like the last good weather day. Otherwise he says they have to go out with torches to kind of warm the box up first. So we'd rather avoid that if possible. And then also, maybe Nathan can tell us where we're at with Pacific Corp.
Yeah, so I've been So originally we were trying to work with Rocky Mountain Power, they're the ones who own like all the utility boxes around. So all the green boxes that you see, that's Rocky Mountain Power. And originally they were like really responsive. They sent us an agreement, we passed it through, Jamie signed it. And so it was all good on our end, we sent it to them. And I've never heard back from him. And I've emailed him multiple times, I've called him, and have not gotten through. So if any of you guys have any connections to Rocky Mountain Power, I've hit a roadblock with them, so I don't know what, Michael Lang. So, he's worked with the city before, I know other people like know of him and stuff, and, up until a certain point, he just stopped answering.
I know Michael.
Okay, so if you can ask him about it, or, try to prod him or something, that would be awesome.
Okay.
Cause I don't know what happened, so.
I'll do it today.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. So, so that's where we are on that front, on those utility boxes.
When you signed the contract, or sorry, when you proposed the contract, was it with vinyl wrap or paint?
It was for both.
Both, okay,
Yes.
great.
It was a contract that they've had with like multiple other cities. They just sent it to us with Orem, and all the places, so. Yeah, so
He took over after Kathy Hoffman left.
Who did?
Kathy Hoffman? Yeah, I'll talk to Michael.
Okay, cool.
So how much budget do we have? How many boxes can we do, and in what time frame? I guess is my question.
It's in the 7,000 range. I can find the exact amount if I get in my email.
I'm also working, to apply for a grant, it was like $20,000. That is for this type of thing in cities, so hopefully we get that and do some more boxes.
Wonderful. Now too, when we think about boxes, I talked with a gentleman from UDOT, and if it's typically on State Street, it's theirs. If it's typically off State Street, even though they look like to be the exact same boxes, and it's typically Orem's. When I talked to UDOT, he sounded that it was something that could probably happen, but he wanted us to do someone on the city ones first and see how that went. So I think once we show some success and such with that, then if we find some on State Street that we really want to do, then we can make a better proposal.
I've also heard about the UTA boxes. I don't know if you guys have talked about this at all, but Jamie had talked with some UTA people, and it seemed like they weren't going to budge, and that the UTA boxes are probably a dead end, so we should focus on other boxes.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, good job.
Any other question about the boxes or anything?
Got the file for you.
Oh, good. Okay. I was about ready to run, see if I could get over there with the 11 meg file.
So how do we choose the artwork? Like, could we have one of Cassie's paintings, or how does that work?
Well, I was wondering if maybe for the sake of this, if after we talk with Jamie to see if, they're willing to just say we'll let the Arts Council decide on the art, then maybe we need a subcommittee that can just work it out, so that we're not waiting 2 months to try to get a response from the whole body.
That's great.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that sounds good.
yeah, I don't know. I've never. I know we've had subcommittees in the past. I've not been on one. I don't know how big they usually are, or how that usually works. But my thought was maybe if we had 3 or 4 people, or maybe 3 or 5, so have an odd number.
There's a grant from the Arts and Museums. I just talked to Jean Irwin on Monday, and I told her that we wanted to cover the boxes in the city. And it could be a $10,000 grant. And I told her that we wanted to do maybe children's artwork, maybe by the elementary school, the utility box by an elementary school where the kids go. And she said that she'd help us write that grant.
Oh, that'd be great.
So, and it won't be due until, the money for this year's gone, but the grant's due in September, the 1st of September. So if we got that grant written in August, you know, then. And we were thinking maybe have winners from the Orem Stories contest, you know, the children's artwork from the Orem Stories contest. Take really good pictures of those and put them up so they could wrap boxes. And they're, all of the schools, the elementary schools in Salt Lake, all of the elementary schools in Salt Lake, utility boxes on their property are covered with children's art, a wrap. So they've done it some way.
Okay.
But the grant that she said, a $2,000 grant could help with something like that. So maybe we could do like several projects. We could have artwork, you know, but then by the utility boxes by the schools, maybe we could do children's art.
Yeah, that sounds so cool.
Great.
That's another idea.
Yeah, and
Weren't we just doing originally the area around the Sierra, the art center? Or are we now expanding all over?
well, for our original funding, it has to be in the arts district.
Right.
But if we are the recipient of some grants, which is a big question mark,
Yeah.
right?
Then we're gonna expand.
Then we can expand.
Okay.
But if we, is it care funds or which one is it?
Yeah, so it has to be either in the arts district or a recreational park facility could be an eligible use for the funds. It would just be technically a recreational enhancement, not an art enhancement, but it sixes at that point, it doesn't matter.
Okay. So there's some options.
Maybe Nate, did you have a chance to get into that other grant and poke around and find out what it would be required to apply?
I've started working on it. I started filling it out, and I'm gonna work on it more today.
It looked like it was to paint the streets.
That's one of the applications of it, but it had a broader sense than that. I definitely think the traffic signal boxes fall into that.
Which painting the streets is a good idea too.
Yeah, they have some cool examples.
What about Utopia? That big ugly box on 400 East there, on the east side of the shell is Utopia.
That one,
You think we could
that's
wrap
like
that?
right behind the outdoor theater?
Mhm.
That's 3 boxes, that's Utopia and not yours?
Yeah, and it's vandalized all the time. It's been painted beige 3 or 4 times. But
And we showed her a possible example of Cassie's art on it in the city council meeting.
that would be awesome. But do we have a contact for Utopia? I'm happy to call too, but I know they have boxes around town too.
I'm sure we do.
It probably would save them in the long run if they didn't have to constantly repaint it. So we'll have to look into that. Anything else about the boxes? Any other questions?
Thanks for all your work.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Nathan, he got the fire going, so.
Okay, well, the next thing to talk about is Orem Stories. Cassie and Cindy, do you want to-
Well, we've just got the same schools that were going to do it before, and I have talked especially with the elementary teacher, to make sure that she gets the stuff before the kids leave for Christmas, because it's the first part of January. So, I need to talk to the high school Bart.
Oh, yes.
Are you gonna be able to participate?
Yeah, we're doing a portrait exchange before Christmas.
Okay,
So I know we're painting each other in class. So
okay.
I
So
have some
then
pictures, yeah.
you could save some invest, maybe, or get them back after Christmas.
Yeah, they're my areas too, so I should be able to get it.
Okay, good. Good.
Yeah.
I know what mine's.
What's the date in January?
What
I
is
don't
it?
remember.
Something.
You just email me, just send me an email. But the answer is yes, I plan to
Is there any help that you need from the rest of the council to make that happen?
If you want to ask other, like if you're associated with an elementary school by you, if you could ask their art teacher if they would want to participate, that would be great. I went around to all elementary schools in Orem, and it took so much fun. And I was only able to get 2 teachers to commit to do it. And some of them just didn't have time, and they just, so. But if we could tell them that the very best ones are going to be on a raft right to your school and it would represent your school, it might be an incentive to have them participate. And I think it's really important that they think of the, stories of people in Orem who are influential in their lives. And they could think of it, because that's what they're supposed to do, a picture of someone in Orem that's been influential to them, and then they write about how they've been influential. And so it's just stories about Orem people, that would be on Orem boxes by Orem kids, that would be great. But the show in the library, we could choose the very best, most colorful ones from the library and take really good photos of them so they could be put together, on the racks. So we could have the images.
Can I ask you a question? This kind of goes back to the rest, but you reminded me of it, because if this funding can only be used in a certain area, but we want to maybe put these by schools, can we have like a circle that's in this, a white circle that's in the same place on all of the boxes that we could either put made possible by Orem Care, or made possible by Cindy Clark, or
the Orem Arts Council.
Orem Arts Council, or whoever pays for it, but if it's always in the same corner and it's always just a circle, then the Care will get that in the Arts District, but then, I could even sponsor a box at Orem Elementary by my house, or whatever.
That's a good idea.
Anyway, because I would just hate for us to not be able to fund a box by a school because we have restrictions. We'll find the $300 somewhere else and do it, or whatever.
Well, if we could get that $10,000 grant from the Arts Council, then that could pay for the elementary arts thing. And it's community involvement in the arts. It would fit great. That's all.
I think there's just got to be an expectation with that circle that it's just probably not going to be big enough that you will be able to recognize it when you're driving by, but you'll recognize it if you walked up to it. Otherwise, it would have to be so big it would kind of take away from the design.
So one big circle with art.
I'm thinking like a 7-inch plate.
Arts here.
Walk up to it.
Like
a
like a 7-inch plate circle with a black outline, and then whatever's inside of that will change from person to person or company to company. But then if it's always in the bottom right corner of those boxes, then someone that would be looking for those would always look in the same place on all of the boxes for that, whatever's in there.
Is there a way to get somebody to just design a graphic for it, for us to always have?
And then just change out the text?
Yeah.
Seems like that's the way to do it.
I guess the question I had was, how often would you be anticipating changing out the children's art on the boxes?
When it gets destroyed.
Yeah, I would think you just leave whatever's up there for years.
Yeah.
Okay, because I just didn't know if Orem Stories, if there was an anticipation that next year the winners would be updated, because that's a lot to maybe promise right now.
I think maybe each year we could do one box.
But not replace the same box.
Yeah, and then the next year do a box someplace else.
At a different
How about
school.
that?
When we start replacing them after we've done them all.
Yeah, but there are a lot of elementary schools.
Yeah.
But only 2 of them participate in Orem Stories.
Who are who do?
Sarah Park, Centennial. And sometimes Orchard.
Do all of the elementary schools have an art specialist in their school?
No, that's part of the problem, right?
Does
But
Orem?
have you worked with Deb Escalante and that art thing that she does on Saturdays with teachers? I wonder if she could help us get into more schools.
Well, those are not necessarily
They aren't.
warm, the teachers.
That's true.
They're from all over.
If
So-
there were a flyer or something, I am in schools a lot, but I wouldn't be very good at doing it.
Okay, let's do another, because we've got the Orem Stories flyer. I'll just update it.
Okay. Yeah, because I can take those to Orem Elementary.
Yeah.
I'd be
Yes,
happy
I
to.
do.
Okay.
Yeah, the ones that don't have art teachers, like in my kid's school, it's like parent driven. That's how the art program's done. You get parent volunteers to come in.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
She's at the Foothill Elementary there. That's still, yeah. Because my wife's one of the volunteers, so, but they have like a curriculum, it seems like, they kind of like have parents teach. So, I mean, but I think it could be flexible, I mean, I don't
The
remember
curriculum's
myself right now, I
flexible.
should have just told my wife.
And they're organized parents.
Yeah.
They're organized
Yeah.
parents up there.
Maybe that'd be something else to do, maybe there's a lesson plan we can develop for the elementary teachers to use.
Oh, I have one already.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. I would love to take that around.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that could be another hurdle that teachers, or if we wrote a little like elementary lesson plan, we gave it to them, it's already written, even better, then they know
It
here,
was so much of their curriculum.
Yeah.
I would love to do
because
that.
they could do a writing component with it, I mean, that's great.
It's even posted on BYU's website right now, so they can
Okay.
just pull it off the website.
Okay.
It's all about doing faces, and it's mainly self-portraits, but just change it to a face of someone, and there are all different ways of doing portraits of faces.
Can you send us the link?
Will you just help me get the link?
Yeah, I'll send the link.
Yeah, that's
I'll send it to Charlene, and then she can send it to you.
Cool.
It's great.
Is there anything else that anyone would like to bring up?
And I'm just wondering, so I got an email about my term being done, and I think some others did. I filled out the form to
I wonder if I'm on the campus.
redo it. I'm just wondering where we are in that process.
We're waiting for this meeting so I could see if the others wanted to fill out the forms. If not, we go back to the people who've applied and take it to the next council meeting in December.
So they'll just present the names in the city council meeting, and that's just.
Pretty sure if you're willing to come back.
Okay.
If you would.
So,
Bar real high.
Pretty
bar.
sure.
do you guys want to be reappointed?
You want us to be reappointed?
It's not a matter of us not wanting, it's a matter of everyone being so incredibly busy. So I just want, to make sure that
And I was thinking
everybody
maybe
has
I
the
should,
chance.
but I got here and missed you guys, so I think I might.
So did you have that link?
I didn't get an email.
You didn't get an email?
I don't know.
I've been not getting emails on some of these meetings.
I think it's one item.
What is your email?
BA Merrill, ELL, at MSN.com.
Just no punctuation or anything?
Yeah.
Because
Because like every other month I don't get a invitation to this meeting and I think, are we having it?
are we in your
Am I fired?
spam filter?
I don't
by
think so.
chance?
I got one, well, I got one this time.
But we don't meet every month anymore.
Well, I didn't know that started yet. Maybe that's why.
So that's.
That's
So
been this year.
bamerrill@msn.com. I sent one to you on October 23rd.
Let me know.
You start right out saying nice things about us, so we better pay attention and get this done.
But if you don't get it, I will resend it.
October when?
23rd.
I found it.
I got something from my wife.
A lot of us didn't get it.
No, that was just to these people.
Oh, it wasn't to us.
Not everyone has to be reappointed.
You're wonderful people too. That's okay. No.
Let me look at my spam.
Are there, there's 2 R's in Merrill, right?
That's not my junk. Not my trash.
2 R's, 2 L's, right?
2 R's, 2 L's, 2 E's.
This is what she said.
It's both, just a great mix.
I'm resending it right now, see if you get
Oh, there
it.
it is. That's the right ad.
If you don't get this one, then we'll probably have to see what's up, but if you see one that I just resent, hopefully.
It's usually the stuff I get from Arts Council that comes from
Sharon.
Sharon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sharon sends the agenda and stuff out. But I'm not getting a bounce back, so maybe we're going to spam?
So I'm just gonna say this to be out in the open about it. When I came on the council, it was because there was a particular kind of need and the person who was going off thought that I might be able to fill it. So if there's something else brewing out there that somebody knows about and knows somebody who would do well, I would be happy to.
We need you,
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Dave, I think, he hasn't been here for a while either, but I don't know if it's me missing or him missing, but we have similar connections. But anyway, just if that comes up, just say something. I'm really okay with it.
We're not kicking anyone.
But anyway, that's the way the reappointment process goes. If people are okay being reappointed, they just do that. It's a pretty short application. I think they've adjusted it over the years, but it's pretty short. And then we take them to the council.
Yeah, I'm not getting it though.
I can just write the link down for you, but I don't know why I'm not getting them.
Yeah.
I'm just not getting a bounce though. That's the odd part.
You do, out on Center Street, there's a big white, they paint white though.
Probably, I don't know. I could look. I didn't get my.
So we could get the very best ones for your students.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Put that on
That'd be a good incentive to help them do some other stuff.
Just spell it to me.
I'll look, soon.
How about that? It's very likely. Okay.
Yeah, if nobody else has anything they'd like to bring up, does anyone want to make a motion to adjourn?
I will. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, motioned and seconded.
Love it. You skipped it.
Sorry, who was that?
Bart made the motion to adjourn and John seconded it. We're adjourned until January. Good work, everyone.
He's got it down, Charlie.
It's just me. You're just blocking me, huh? He said block it.
We're just talking. Let's see.
Wow, just Dave Blackington was the only one who wasn't here. That is a pretty full group.